guys, welcome back into my channel. I'm Meg, a mindfulness coach and healer, and I'm back today with the 10th episode of my podcast, which I've mildly neglected. I've been really focusing on affirmation meditations and spending time on my shorts, but I wanted to come with you today on the topic that has felt so important lately, and I think everybody might resonate with it too, that we are all craving more lighthearted feelings about play and fun and just doing things to enjoy our lives. This is an area that I think has been really speaking to my soul lately, and for any of you other entrepreneurs or folks that work for yourself, it is a grind and there's no days off. And it's really hard for other people that don't live this lifestyle to understand just how demanding and stressful and downright scary it can be, to use that word. It's pretty bold, but I think coming out of the pandemic and, the economy and consulting and trying to brand and market ourselves amongst the extremely busy culture that we live in, the social media presence that is required and sometimes demanded, even though I think people kind of dip their toe in at different paces and speeds. I know that I do. But one thing that's really hit me over the head lately is we have to carve out time to just be and to have fun and, to do things that make us feel like a little kid again. And I notice for myself, I'll use swimming as an example. I find myself constantly wanting to swim, and I just can't get enough of it. And I realized recently that it's because I feel so free. And there's something to be said about being in water. And I know there's been studies shown on how wonderful it is for our mental health and how living near a body of water, participating in water activities, walking near water, hearing the sound of water is so soothing. And, it's not only from a perspective of like our soul, but, we were in water once before we were born. And so it's something that we feel comfortable in. But I just feel so alive, and it feels like because you're so light and you float, it just feels so freeing. And so I think the things that can help us to have fun by just taking a little trip or maybe going somewhere unexpected or just experimenting with something new is really intrinsic to our mental health. And I will speak for myself again that I know times are tough and people are extremely aware of their finances and how we are prioritizing everything coming in and going out based on, where we live and our expenses and, responsibilities if we're parents, and supporting others and, supporting ourselves. Or like me, also building, other businesses. Everything requires a really meticulous comb of our energy in our life. And on my channel, for those of you that listen to my work, it's very focused on our growth mindset and how we really have to garden the weeds of our own mind. And I think, in a sense, taking in what we can, but there's a moment where we sort of have to take the armor off and we have to unleash ourselves from the stress, no matter what is going on in the external environment or even in our own lives. I'm a consultant and freelancer, and one minute I might have a week where I'm not working with clients and I'm solely working on my channel, or the next week I might get booked on a shoot for a week that I wasn't planning on. And it's very, kind of jarring and unexpected and turbulent in certain ways. It's also a really fun adventure and roller coaster that I've chose to ride. I guess, if you want to put it that way. But it's just needed that we make the time for these spontaneous activities. It just, not only does it like help our neurological selves, but it allows us to take inventory of what makes us happy. And in order for us to live a meaningful life, we have to do the things that we love. And I'm not here to call anyone out or anything, but there are so many excuses that we all can come up with as to why, we can't, go take a walk on the beach for an hour, or go ride our bike, or go visit a friend, or gosh, even getting on a plane. Everything is energy, and we are energy. And I personally am working through right now being able to infuse a lot more of this sort of activity and energy that's creative, and drawing outside the confines of what our regular routine is, because it's so important, like I said, that we keep this energy flowing and that it's not stagnant. And also, when we are on the go, and I don't mean like packing your schedule with busy things, I mean ways to fill your soul cup. Like maybe it's just stopping off 10 minutes before you pick up your kids from school to enjoy a tea at your favorite cafe, and just to like soak up the sounds around you. And maybe, visually it's an inspiring place that has art. Just stopping to smell the roses. I feel like it's so important, and that's come up really clearly for me, and I know others that are close in my tribe as well. But if you need an invitation, or you feel like you want someone to tell you that it's okay or you should do this, I'm giving you a really happy waving signal, like go for it. Just get out there and do it. Recently, 2 weeks ago, I had a job that was in Northern California, and I live in Southern California, so it's about 8 hours from San Diego to San Francisco. And I have done the flight back and forth the past 5 years, way more times than I'd like to admit, but that's just the nature of my clients and the business that I'm in. And I just decided a couple weeks ago, I'm going to drive. I want to go on a road trip. I want to throw my bags in the back of the car. I want to bring my own tea and a healthy snack. And I want to listen to podcasts and just be in this little isolated space of my own, where I can just kind of be and like soak up parts of California that are so gorgeous and flat. And I went during the day. I didn't feel stressed out or anything. And I just kind of chose to look at the adventure as like a more of a personal trip. And on that same trip, I also had a chance to stay with some friends, and we were able to have coffee in the morning before heading out the door for work. And it was so meaningful. Just these little touch points that we have with ourselves and also with others. So maybe plan something in your community where you can bring others together, because let me tell you guys, I think everybody is really craving community now, and where we are in 2023, collectively more than we ever have, because we are all just different. We've changed, we've evolved. Our lives are never going to be the same, and no one could have ever expected what we went through. And parts of ourselves have died, and others have been born, and we're changing, and we're looking for others that are speaking our language, not literally, but just our soul language. And that could be worldwide and global. And maybe what you need to do is sign yourself up for a retreat in another country. That's on my list. It's usually something I try to do once a year, but it's been 3 years. It's time. We really just deserve to walk down a road that we've never been down, to do something unique or different that will just simply make you feel alive. So that is what I wanted to share today with you all. Bring the lightheartedness, bring the play, bring the spontaneity, bring it to your family. Think of yourself as like a little energetic ball of wonderful sunlight that's golden, and everywhere that you go, you just light up the room and you provide compassion and love, and you will absolutely receive those vibrations and that love and that lightheartedness tenfold if you are putting it out there. So do your best, enjoy, have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you guys all very soon. Bye.